Oh! Hello there, Site-42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation community. And welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42, an SCP Foundation stream here on YouTube. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site-42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done daily for the last 8 months and counting, the daily streak remains strong. I am here to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff that contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical level, i.e. Fandom. Either way, we are here for the next 90 minutes in order to have a nice, friendly stream regarding the SCP Foundation. But before I can get into the bulk of today's Q&A, I must start with some housekeeping. First and foremost, oh, this is strange. My browser is actually legitimately hiding who's first. Dr. Vincent. Dr. Vincent, congratulations on being our #1 most punctual member of the Containment Hazard Assessment Team, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Alongside you, Raccoon Dogs, Legendary Doge, Nikki Knackle, Zombie Cat, Amber Chaos, 369, Destroyer, Dr. Puppeteer, America, Light, Steve, Silent Follower, Zombie Cat, again, Joseph Vogt. It's hard to do this and sing because I have to make sure I see the next one and they're all out of order. Kyla, Augie, Furry, Felix, everyone who I have just named alongside Zerdrin. Good to see you, buddy. Yep, everyone who I have just named, thank you for being here punctually. And thank you for being here as well as being members of Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, John Dell, Izzy, Nexina, Amelia Buck, and Tarleton Fox. Everyone here, congratulations on being here punctually, and thank you for being here today just for being you. Now, one more piece of housekeeping before we move to the Q&A. Today, Site 42 has a sponsor. We are going into the holidays helping the SCP merch makers today, people, because today's stream is sponsored by Escape from Site 19. Now, are you familiar with Escape from Site 19? Well, let me tell you. Escape from Site 19 is an intricate SCP Foundation immersive board game. It is somewhere a branch between playing a full D&D tabletop campaign, but it has the guidance of a board game with roles and rules and cards. So it's right down the middle, and it's a very fun and spooky time. I can show you here a little bit of what they are made of. So, this is the big black box of Escape from Site 19. You get a roll-upable game board. They have 300 task cards. Safe, Euclid, Keter, and Thaumiel. They are anomalies with challenges that you must proceed, or sometimes they are anomalies that may help you. Although SCP-343 has never really helped anyone, but we'll ignore that. You play as various characters. There are these very large character cards, and you use the tokens, the metal tokens, to keep track of how you're doing throughout the game. You also are always going up against a breach SCP-001 event, or in their parlance, 0001. I guess by now, we are doing enough 4 digits. It should be 0001. But we have the customized SCP Foundation metal tokens and the die. It comes with matches, because there is a candle involved in gameplay. That is an SCP Foundation candle. And oh my, do they have a lot of group of interest candles for this. And do a lot of anomalies have to do with fire for some reason. And so you run through this game trying to escape a containment breach. The reason they are sponsoring us is because they are releasing the Polish expansion pack. These are SCP entities specifically from the Polish branch. They are also releasing these in English, so we will be able to read them, but they are also releasing the entire game in Polish now. So if you were a Polish speaker, this would be the time for you to get involved. They're also releasing the expansion in English, but we're getting new task, we're getting Thaumiel cards, a protocol card, a new character. Sorry, that's a different game. And 2 new SCP-001s. This game has you doing physical challenges and sometimes really gross stuff. You kinda need a safe word for this game, guys. Honestly, there were some tasks that I was glad my character, the site director, literally allows you to pawn off the tasks if you have a D-class player. So I kept making my D-class do it, because I'm not getting my hands dirty, I'm the site director. Another thing that's very cool about this game is that they made the SCPs. They made models so they could photograph them. They got, oh, there's the bite your friend task for some of you weirdos. But coming down to the bottom here, you see that they actually made a Kumiho. They got a model so they could photograph the Kumiho. No AI-generated art for a little bit. A little reprieve from the rest of the world. So this is the crux of Escape from Site 19. Available in English and soon to be in Polish, as well as their expansion pack. Finally, there is a link in the description to what is called a Game Found campaign. This is where they will be releasing the expansion as well as the next wave of the game. And if you follow said campaign on Game Found now, before it releases, you get a free gift, a mystery gift. And so if you go there and you follow it, you will have access to said mystery gift. And so, final round, let me show you specifically the things that will be included in the expansion, because that was a nice general look at the availabilities. Now we are looking at, this is one of the new SCP-001s. I can't read Polish, but the art looks really cool. Here's the full game. Same card. This is where the expansion pack is going to come in. So if you purchase the expansion pack, you will receive this. There is also the box that will come with it. Again, the expansion of the Polish branch will be available in English. So us dirty Americans can still enjoy this product. But yes, a long time ago, we streamed a game of this between me and my roommates. And the problem is, TikTok took it down. TikTok censored us from doing this board game playthrough, which means that after an hour and a half, and we had about an hour left in the stream, it got taken down and we were actually unable to even download the stream to re-upload it. That's how mad they were. And so, what was TikTok hiding? Why doesn't TikTok want this game to be seen? What were we doing that was so outrageous that they censored us? I guess the internet might not ever know. But at the end of the day, long story short, Escape from Site-19 is a dope-ass SCP board game. I had fun playing it at least. And it is available in English, soon to be in Polish. Follow the Game Found campaign to get your mystery gift. And thank you to Escape from Site-19 for sponsoring today's stream. Now, let me get over to the Q&A. If you are all curious, I see Husky in the chat. You will just have to go to the link in the description to find out. I didn't even see a Husky card. I didn't even register a Husky. Was there a Husky? I didn't see it. I don't know what you're talking about. But you can go and look at the link in the description to find out. There, that's your sneak. That is your catch to go check it out. You're welcome. Okay. Kyla, thank you for your 2-month level 1 researcher member message. We appreciate your membership and your service. Happy early Christmas, Doc. Happy early Christmas to you too, Kyla. Felix, thank you for your 5 months as a mobile task force captain here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Hello there, Doc. It took a while, but I finally restocked all the weapons with my own advanced designs. They are tested, upgraded, and mass-produced. Well, I do like to go into a new year with proper armaments. It only keeps us more secure, more contained, and more protected. So good work. Kyla, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some fruitcake on your way past the commissary. Throwing up lights. Christmas, Doctor! It is Christmas time. We are enjoying it. How's your leg? Matthew Jones, I am up to about a normal person's walking ability, but I need to continue my rehab to get back to the gym, to get back to full athletic strength for my exercise and dancing. So thank you for checking in. The ankle is doing better than it was for sure, but there's still progress, and I'm gonna make it. Intern Sokoto, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. SCP Shy Guy is chasing me. Well, I will make sure we follow you. That way, once you are dead, we can recoup SCP-096. So thank you for sending us that message so we know where to look for SCP-096 after you're deceased. You might be my favorite YouTuber, not gonna lie. Well, thank you, Jake the Wolf. We're doing our best out in these streets to bring the SCP Foundation to the people. Rave Haven, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some eggnog on your way past the commissary, and a cheers. Have some money. Merry Christmas Eve Eve. Well, I appreciate you helping us to keep the lights on around here, and Merry Christmas Eve Eve to you too. Kyla, thank you for donating again to say, fear the alicorn drawing Doc as a pony. Oh, there's been a lot of Dr. Sherman ponies in the Fan Art Fridays streams recently, so seems we have some sort of epidemic going on. I'm dyeing my hair blue for the holidays. Wonderful, Zombie Cat. Enjoy that nice little icy persona for the snowy winter. Felix, thank you for donating again. Or no, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some mulled cider on your way past the commissary. Update, I managed to make sure our weapons are better than the global occult coalitions, but I gotta ask, what is 420-J and what do researchers avoid giving me it? SCP-420-J is only for recreational purposes, and possibly you might have an adverse reaction that they are worried about. That's all. Don't worry about it. What happens when you put a blindfold on SCP-173? You know SCP-173 doesn't have eyes, right? And is also a statue. So it doesn't see. It will still snap your neck if you blink, because it does not care if it can see you. It only cares if you can see it. Are Foundation personnel barred from marrying outside the Foundation? Seems right for honey traps. Well, entered adamant, that depends on the canon you are living in. There are multiple canons where the SCP Foundation is so ingrained into society that a civilian might never know that their spouse is working at the mysterious SCP Foundation. There are staff members who go home to their civilian families who are none the wiser of what they've been doing all day. That's just the way it works in some universes. There's a great tale on the wiki called Everybody Knows. And is it Everybody Knows or Everyone Knows? Everyone knows. Yes, everyone knows about the time that we discovered, at least in one universe, that there was only one person on Earth who was not dealing with anomalies in one way, and so everybody was in on it. That was a pretty crazy universe. Hi, Insane Sweater, where did you get it, Dr. Sherman? Well, Intern Voidel, I got Buff Santa here as a gift, and therefore, I do not know where Buff Santa spawns from, but I do believe that we should all live in fear of Buff Santa, the most dangerous of the anomalous Santa Clauses. Okay, so while everyone in stream is recuperating from the shock of that interaction with Buff Santa, let's talk about the stream subject, which is, yesterday I was asked if I would be doing any SCP shopping Christmas-wise for the SCPs themselves, and I said no, because SCPs are objects, not people. We don't celebrate Christmas for objects. But then the Pasta Physics Division, beneficiary of the Ethics Committee, told me that Dr. Sherman, it would be good for morale, and we would have less containment breaches if we got the anomalies presents. So I guess you win. We're last-minute Christmas shopping for SCP entities. So, who are we Christmas shopping for first? SCP-049 will not be receiving more subjects. And also, Bread King of France, I see that you have some sort of affiliation with that French anomaly. Don't think I didn't know that SCP-049 is French. And Stream, they certainly knew the whole time, and did not at all forget that SCP-049 is canonically French. So, I understood your relationship there, so did my containment hazard assessment team. And no, we will not be giving SCP-049 any test subjects. That is out of the question. But there could be another Christmas present that won't result in zombies that may be fine. What could we give SCP-049 for Christmas that will not result in zombies in my containment site? Give 049 a new set of medical instruments. Intern milk cola. I'm going to have to deny that as well, because that would only make 049 more antsy to test on more anomalies. To test on more subjects causing more anomalies. So, unfortunately, while appropriate, I think it's a bad plan. Give him a baguette. Ravehaven, it's an it, not a he. We just went over this. SCPs are objects, not people. They are its, not he's or she's. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. I think 049 would like a nice book set, a series from a classic author from history, something intellectual. Yeah, 049 is a big ol' nerd. So perhaps some historical fiction would be a good way to go. Something that will not lead down the path of more experimentation. Okay, you've sold me, desk. Good plan. 049 gets some nice, delightful historical fiction novels. Before we check in on the next SCP, Ravehaven, thank you for donating again to say, I miss my wife, Dr. Sherman, I'll be back. Junior researcher Haven making a joke on the way out. I'm afraid I don't understand the joke. But thank you for your generosity regardless. Grondar, thank you for your 1 month as a level 1 researcher here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Would SCP-493 be a good chiropractor? 493, you say? SCP-493. Codename Replicant. Group of genetically identical males of apparent ages between 20 and 90 years old. The younger 493s have brown hair and brown eyes. They're about 1.7 meters tall and weigh between 70 and 90 kilograms. Older 493's hair turns gray after beginning to bald around the apparent age of 50 years old. Fluent in English and multiple dialects of German with a moderate Swiss-German accent. Fluent in Spanish, 2 of them are. I do not see that the 493s have any attraction to chiropractic or any sort of medical profession. So I don't think the answer is yes. Felix, thank you for donating again. SCP Unknown. A canine humanoid along with other types of animalistic humanoids with an anomalous workshop compound. The door is kept as the basement door for Site-42. The furries are used for industrial development. Alright, well, you're going to need to flesh out the documentation there, but yeah, that's a good start for a for a containment doc. Xylos Zin, welcome to Site-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. We should buy SCP-079 some new, not much better hardware. I completely disagree. 079 does not need a hardware improvement. It has already done enough damage with the hardware it's currently residing within. I suggest we give SCP-079 an iteration of the game Pong, and we just let it do its thing. Maybe that'll distract it for a minute. You hear that, desk? We're getting 079 Pong. Ravehaven, thank you for donating again to say, just going to say it's a snap cube reference. I do not know what a snap cube is, and therefore I can see why that reference has went somewhere in a higher elevation than my head. Sup, chat? It's your favorite intern Dreamer. I'm here on my lunch break to say, make the amount of likes more than the views to trick YouTube and bring more people to the Foundation. Parentheses, I need a raise. Well, helping out Mobile Task Force Psi-42 codenamed the Signal Boosters is a great on-the-nose method for getting a raise. So congratulations, intern Dreamer. I see you doing some good things. Will I get anything for Christmas? Signed, SCP-049. You were the first one we did. You're getting historic... No. If you're here, I'm not going to tell you. Felix, thank you for donating again to say, do I get any Christmas gifts? I've been so good. Well, you are an anomaly in containment, so yes, I do imagine some sort of rare resource from another universe might find its way into your stocking for future experiments, if you continue to be good. Hold on 1 second. Someone said this jumper is hot, and it is. I need more airflow. That's better. How can you survive SCP-4999 even when you live in cold places? Intern Ermwhat. SCP-4999 is the smoking man entity that arrives on the deathbeds of certain individuals and comforts them upon their demise. So, that has nothing to do with cold weather. You must be thinking of a different anomaly. I need to bring this closer, too. There we go. That's better. Gravehaven, thank you for donating again. Also, can I get something for Christmas? I'm certain it's a possibility. Double checking something real quick. All right, chat is working again. Inkslayer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some figgy pudding on your way past the commissary. You cool if I gave SCP-049 Vocaloid music for Christmas? Well, I don't see that leading to more zombies, and therefore, yes, I don't have a problem with that gift. Dr. Sherman, do you get a Christmas present? Well, Intern Cooper, I probably will, I'm sure. I don't really know what to ask for, and as the site director, it's more my job to shepherd people around and make sure everyone else gets presents, so I'm not too worried about whether or not I get something, but I'm sure something will be gifted to me. I at least think I am a pretty good boss, so... Either way, it's not about the receiving, it's about the giving, right? And so we're working on giving gifts today. Furries in D&D, thank you for, Felix, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, each of us fluff balls got you a Christmas gift. Oh, that's what I was just speaking of, as a matter of fact. Here's mine, gives you a suspiciously tight machine-sized present. Well, that'll take a long time to unwrap, but that is still 2 days away from unwrapping, so that is next day. That is 2 days from now, Dr. Sherman's problem. Dr. Sherma Worm, the buff Santa comes from Blizzard Bay. Is Blizzard Bay a shop? Did you happen to hunt this down? Intern Buck? Interesting. Oh, well, look at what you found. Congratulations on finding the source of Santa Gaines' ugly Christmas sweater. Good work. Excellent internet sleuthing. So yes, if you want to curse one of your friends with Buff Santa, you can type in Blizzard Bay ugly Christmas sweater Santa Gaines to find and bring Buff Santa to the people you love enough to torture. Can we get SCP-166 a gift? How about a deer plushie made from actual deer fluff felted together so she can't decay it? It's an it. I don't see Clef around right now. It's still an it. It's still an it. And, are you saying that deer fluff felted together will not be decayed? Why would that be the case? What part of 166's anomaly does that placate? Artificial objects gradually return to an unworked state. So you're trying to use animal pieces to make it a natural thing, not an artificial thing. Okay. I mean, the one thing is you're taxidermying a deer, and as a deer girl, that might be offensive. I'm just saying, that seems a pretty rough thing. Yeah, Desk, reaching the same conclusion. Might want to choose a different animal, at the very least. Felix, thank you for donating again to say, after all the fluff balls of the Anomalous Workshop stack up presents for Dr. Sherman under a large tree, hundreds of presents await. Phew, that'll do it. Well, I might be, busy on Christmas Day. We'll still have a stream, but I might have a lot of unwrapping to do, it sounds like. Lockjaw, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself a Icy Pop on your way past the commissary. SCP-049 versus SCP-610. Well, 049 causes the biological processes of anything it touches to die. And the SCP-610s are in fact alive with biological processes. So, 049 sweeps. Okay, finishing with 166. I guess a plushie made of some non-deer entity could be an appropriate way. The thing is, I'm wondering if this artificiality... artificial objects gradually return to an unworked state. Higher complexity objects like electronics or vehicles are quicker, with degradation of their metallic components causing catastrophic... Rudimentary materials such as stone buildings or products made of organic materials decay at a virtually imperceptible rate. Okay, so virtually imperceptible, but they still decay. Got it. So yes, honestly, if it clears by Clef, perhaps the answer is not to get 166 a artificial object at all, even if it is made of natural materials. Perhaps just get the entity a puppy. Is there a problem with getting SCP-166 a puppy? I mean, we normally wouldn't do that for a lot of anomalies, but Clef does have a certain pull within the Foundation, so perhaps that would be the way to go. Intern Pixie, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. How about gift ideas for SCP-085? Hand-drawn Cassie. She is so sweet. Her article refers to her with she, her pronouns. Listen, I don't care if the article was written by some unprofessional wretch who didn't follow protocol. It is an it. All anomalies are its. It. Get it right. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. Just because someone wrote a document wrong doesn't mean you follow the wrong information. Come on now, you know better. And, well, you're right that all we need is to draw something in order to give Cassie that thing. So, who's good at drawing what would be fun presents? Does anybody have an idea? The sky's the limit. You can draw anything. So, maybe badminton net and rackets, perhaps. But then they need a compatriot. Maybe Fred could go visit and they could play badminton. Adamant, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a bit of roast beast on your way past the commissary. Why can't we take a gift from the anomalous Christmas tree? Oh, yes. Let me pull up the giving tree. There's a very good reason you're not supposed to accept a present from that anomaly. The gift that keeps on giving is that's not. Yes. Do 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 do. Because it started gifting SCPs and other weaponry to people that should not have them. And so now all gifts are to be received from that anomaly due to the danger that poses. Clearly. Would the Yule Man still Would the Yule Man still attack if you have a green Christmas? Intern Fox, the Yule Man attacks at the latitudinal line above 40 degrees north. I do not believe it matters if there is actually snow or not. 12 consecutive nights every year. Active phase. Locations north of 40 degrees latitude. Dwellings have shared the following characteristics. Isolated rural location, home to a family with at least one child under the age of 8, and situated in an area with snow cover lasting throughout the duration of the event. Well, there you go. No snow cover, no Yule Man. If you're having a green Christmas, you are safe from SCP-4666, codename the Yule Man. You can press the Marked Safe from the Yule Man button on your social media. It seems we're having a influx of Mallow fans in the chat, so let me just make this clear. SCP-1471 entities, known as Mallow, they are incorporeal, intangible. It means you can't touch them. It means you cannot fraternize with them because you cannot touch them. So, get it out of your heads. We don't fraternize with anomalies. Stop it. Felix, thank you for donating again to say, I have an idea for SCP-999. I prepared a very huge bucket, but I need to have it be approved that it can be filled with candy of every kind. You now have me worried. How big of a candy bucket is that? Every kind of candy? Is that every kind of candy from one nationality, or is that including multi-world countries of different brands of candy? Because if you're including that much candy in the bucket, then you might be able to create a candy bucket so dense that it might create a black hole in and of itself. You're looking at a landfill's amount of candy. That's seemingly too much candy. Lockjaw, thank you for donating again. Lord Blackwood and SCP-082, how would the interaction go? Well, let me pull up the two entities. So, Fernand and Lord Blackwood. Alright, the cannibal and the snail gentleman. SCP-1867, SCP-082. Do we have any crossover between the two? Fernand. Nope. Oh, why is this so big now? What has happened? Get rid of that. Well, I'm not seeing a crossover of the two, unfortunately, so I don't have a canon answer for you, but they are both overall jovial chaps, so I don't think they would have anything, unless they have some sort of backstory that we don't know about, in which case there could be some hostilities between them. It's hard to say. Oh, let me get this Ko-Fi notification before I forget it exists. Be a librarian. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. And thank you for making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi, which has a 3% tax on your donations, as opposed to YouTube Super Chat's 30% donation. So we very much appreciate you making the effort. Make sure to grab yourself some cranberry sauce on your way past the commissary. Still on my Murphy Law and Fred madness. I'd get a Murphy, a Gosling 78% rum, chaotic as that will be. It'll enjoy it, I bet. And for Fred, a bubble pipe to match with Murphy's endless smoking. Don't know how to get it into the book, but there's got to be a way. Because Murphy can interact with Fred, that means that for temporary purposes, Murphy Law can pull Fred out of storybooks and into the real world for a short period while in Fred's vicinity. Therefore, you would just have to give Fred the pipe within the bubble effect area of Murphy, and then you would have succeeded in your goal. It is also very interesting, now that you mention that, if there were something horrible, terrible, very bad that we needed to get rid of from our plane of existence, we could feasibly put Murphy Law and Fred in the same place, have Fred hold the thing we need contained, and then when Murphy leaves the area, Fred is put back into a book with the thing we wanted contained, now on a lower pataphysical narrative level. This could really go places, because unlike people who keep trying to put put anomalies in SCP 3008, well, it has the same problem that Murphy is unpredictable. So we would also have the door moving problem. Damn it. I thought that was a good idea, but we need to gain control of Murphy Law, and that just does not seem likely. SCP-049, you are correct. It does seem that the likes at a 117 are higher than the viewer count at 83. Congratulations, Mobile Task Force Psi-42. Because of your like button hitting, the SCP algorithm takeover is going smoothly. And the YouTube Shorts algorithm will bring us more and more people, who some of which will be like, oh, dope, SCP stuff, I like that. And some will be very confused, but we will make them one of us. One of us. One of us. And so thank you, Mobile Task Force Psi-42, for your help in supporting the SCP Wiki and its authors, artists, animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, etc. We thank you for your service. Lava Tiger, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to get yourself some roasted potatoes au gratin on your way past the commissary. Overseer here, I've heard of these people called Helldivers. Your thoughts on them? They destroy anything that is not human or farm them for resources. They're essentially the Space Global Occult Coalition. Meatheads, uncareful, uncharismatic, and causing chaos everywhere they show up. I'm not a fan. Let me get this Ko-Fi before I forget the notification exists. Felix, thank you for donating again, and this time going through the Ko-Fi. I want to thank you for the content you create. I think I've given a total of this much money, and I do not wish for any special treatment. Just to say I love your content and wish for you to succeed more, reach for the stars, and they will listen. Well, Felix, that is surprisingly heartfelt. And thank you very much. We are doing our best in these streets with the support you guys give us. We keep the broadcast going. It keeps the Site-42 staff able to take time out of their busy schedules to help out with the cause. And so I thank you very much for your generosity to the team and myself. And we will continue to keep doing our part to spread the SCP Foundation far and wide so that our signal is boosted, as well as the signals of those who we support. Excellent SCP filmmakers like Keter Labs, or Andrea Joshua Asnikar, or Dark Math Films. SCP animators like Just Alice, or Voidy Arts. SCP game makers like Escape from Site-19, our sponsor of today's stream. And also SCP game makers like HST Studios with Fragmented Minds and the Josie the Half-Cat game, and Afray Interactive. No, Afray is SCP-5K and the Josie the Half-Cat game. HST is just Fragmented Minds. I gotta keep my companies right. Anyway, thank you so much for your support, Felix, and everyone else. Lockjaw, thank you for donating again to say SCP-082 versus SCP-682. Would Fernand eat 682? Why is the wiki so big? Something has gone wrong with the SCP database on my screen. And, Ack, why is it so big? Please, help me. I think I need to zoom out again. That's too big. Can I zoom out? Enter full screen, no. Copy address. Force dark page. Translate page portion. Okay, there we go. Hold control and I can adjust the zoom. I see. Okay, where were we? Yes, Fernand the Cannibal versus 682. So Fernand eats... Cannot differentiate fact from fiction. Only parts teeth to eat food and to sing. Visiting personnel should be aware that at any moment, SCP-02 is capable of attacking and voraciously eating others. Subject will often apologize for his lack of manners for interrupting someone's conversation by devouring their head while making a mess of his quarters. Again, unprofessionality at the start of the Foundation with a his instead of an its. And it seems to enjoy skulls. See, there it is. Then the very next sentence, they did it correctly. As far as I can tell, it seems to eat only humans. Because it's warning about people interacting with it. But let's check the termination log and see if 082 is represented. Is not represented in the testing log with 682, so it seems like that wouldn't be much of a matchup because 682 would not bother with Fernand, and Fernand would not eat 682. Lava Tiger, thank you for donating again to ask, have we tried to throw SCP-682 into SCP-2059? See if 2059 would try to convert 682 into its mass. Well, while I open 2059 to look into it, and that loads on the database, I will first confer with the 682 termination log again. You said 2509. Unlisted, not tested. So, you said 2059, not 2509. That's my fault. Too many numbers. 2059. Still not listed, so at least there's that. So, let's take a look. Autonomous and sentient mass of flesh, bones, and organs. Mass is dominated by a large yellow sensory organ that does not correspond to that of any corresponding species. Organ resembles an eye, but is capable of detecting infrared radiation. Capable of rearranging itself at will, but only follows the usual composition. Smooth flesh covering a grid of bones that protect vital organs and brain tissue at the center of the mass. Does not require extraneous sustenance. Any living creature touching 2059 will be absorbed into its mass, but keratinous material, skin, hairs, and nails, is discarded. It consists of a blue whale, a giant squid, 2 bottlenose dolphins, several specimens of livestock, 30 human beings, 1 dead human being in advanced stages of decomposition, several specimens of various household pets, approximately 300 rodents, and an undetermined amount of insects. So, this, by the way, writers in the chat, those who want to write SCPs, this is a great example of economical storytelling in the SCP format. Think of the order that we just said those in, okay? Blue whale. It's a big entity. Okay, it's big. It's big enough to catch a blue whale. 1 giant squid. Okay, that's weird. And it's an unknown species. I didn't mention that, but that's cool. 2 bottlenose dolphins. All right, well, those exist in the ocean. That's fine. Several specimens of various livestock. Everything has been water aquatic animals. Why is it all of a sudden livestock? And then approximately 30 human beings, to which you're like, oh wow, there are 30 human beings in this thing. That's weird. And then one dead human being in advanced stages of decomposition. That makes you go back one thing and go, wait a minute. Those 30 humans are alive in there, man. Horror. That's how you drop something crazy like that. Interesting stuff. Long story short, an entity like this that would try to absorb 682 would split in half and discard the part that was attached to the anomaly and then regrow on the half that's not attached. And so, therefore, 682 would not be captured by this. Dr. Frogman, good to see you in the chat. Everyone was very curious as to your whereabouts. All right, let me double check this real quick. Intern John Dell, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Go ahead and grab yourself some chestnuts that have been roasted over an open fire. I wonder what would happen if SCP Murphy Law met Magician Murphy from Perez Anthony's Xanth. Lol. Magician Murphy Xanth. Murphy Xanth. Magician Murphy is the magician whose talent makes everything go wrong that possibly could. He was the rival of King Rugna and appeared first in Castle Rugna. To determine the next king of Xanth, Rugna would build a Castle Rugna, and Murphy would try to stop him. After Rugna successfully completed the construction of the castle and claimed the throne, Murphy banished himself to the Brain Coral's pool. Alright, story. Served as a king once. So, what you're dealing with here is you're dealing with an anomalous film noir world-changing entity, Murphy Law, who somehow always lucks into success, except for when it doesn't. But because it's bad pulp film noir, more likely than not, Murphy Law, SCP-3143, although first showed up in SCP-3043. Murphy Law versus a magician whose magic makes everything go wrong, that would probably be not a good thing for the magician Murphy, leading to Murphy Law coming out on top, I would assume. I looked on the wiki and there seems to be nothing that is Krampus, but multiple things mention Krampus. Correct, Harleton Fox. I do believe that while we have the Yule Man, which is not Krampus, SCP-4666 is not a Krampus. I do not believe we have an actual Krampus on site. The closest is the Yule Man. Otherwise, things mention the folklore of the Krampus, but they never actually bring it into the SCP verse, which is strange considering that we have the Wendigo Skull, the Mothman, the Navajo Skinwalkers. We have a lot of folkloristic entities, but not the Krampus. That's interesting. Are there any JoJo references in SCP? Intern Noob, the SCP Wiki is written by fan fiction writers. Of course there are JoJo references. Let's see. JoJo references in SCPs. Yes, there's a subreddit post that... there's a subreddit in RSCP. There's a post in the subreddit that lists different SCPs with references to JoJo. SCP-5175, literally one of my favorite SCPs, apparently has a JoJo reference in there. SCP-5688 apparently has a JoJo reference. SCP-5555, codename Made in Heaven, apparently is something JoJo adjacent. So yes, we've got a couple. Lockjaw, thank you for donating again to ask, could SCP-999 permanently end up SCP-0762 and SCP-076-2's Bloodlust and Wrath? SCP-999's tickle effect is calming, but most of the people who are calmed by SCP-999 therapy are willing participants. And SCP-076-2, codename Abel, would not be so willingly stand still and let that happen. Therefore, I think the answer is no. Mittids, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Get yourself some pralines on your way past the commissary. Everyone with children, be careful of SCP-4666 this season. Well, yes, if you are above 40 degrees latitude in a rural area with snow cover and you have a child under the age of 8, then yes, be very careful and keep an eye out. Maybe fly to Florida for the winter or something. Felix, thank you for donating again to say, hey, Dr. Sherman, I was able to talk with someone from the walls of containment cells. They told me about some eldritch engineering. Said he was 2845. Why do the machines require flesh? 2845, you say? Oh. The deer. So, are you telling me that you spoke to the deer through the walls of containment cells? Meanwhile, is not 2845 on Jupiter? I thought this entity was off-world. Saturn, sorry, Saturn. Jupiter is a different anomaly. Oh, no, it did come to Earth, and we are containing it through the ritual. Alright, I misunderstood this document. It's been a long time since I've read it. Well, listen. Long story short, too late. Let's not meddle with an anomaly that can do the things it can do, okay? We are looking at powers that are far beyond our comprehension that may cause a whole lot of problem. We have to wait until the overseers approve of any experimentation regarding anything involved with 2845. Have we ever confirmed a historical figure or politician to be an SCP? Intern Adamant. Oh boy, have we. I mean, for starters, SCP-5004-B is the President of the United States right now. Dr. Shaw was president for a while in the body of George W. Bush. There's, oh, we can't forget that George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Benjamin Franklin are alive and running around anomalously, as well as Ben Franklin's magical wish-granting penis, which is no longer in containment. That would be SCP-3313, codename Poor Richard, if you're interested in that. And then SCP, I forget the number, but it's an 8,000 or a 9,000. It's a 9,000, I believe. SCP 9009, codename White People, has many, many, many anomalous current politicians and former politicians. So SCP 9009, you're going to see a lot of that. I believe SCP 4004 is an Al Gore an anomaly. Leuna, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. And your second, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some Christmas crackers on your way past the commissary. Hey Doc, may your Christmas be merry and SCP-4666 free. Well, thankfully I don't have any children around the age of 8 on site, so I don't have to worry about 4666. We're good. Did you put that jumper through the clockworks? It's fine. Hey, Buff Santa is here to motivate you for your gains this holiday season. The Foundation Fitness Initiative is for all of us, after all. Also, I just got some eggnog from the vending machine. Well, very nice. Eggnog is the festive drink of the season. Lockjaw, thank you for donating again. Is it possible that SCP-076-2 is Vengeful Sprite? Could SCP-999 end SCP-0762? No, SCP-0762 is mortal, flesh and blood, so 999 could not emotionally drain 076 out of existence. That's not how it works. Felix, thank you for donating again to say the camera feed to my containment is offline. Well, turn it back on. It's important that we keep proper logs of everything. Oh, by the way, Site42 staff, we are currently 67 minutes into today's stream. Don't say it. And therefore, we are 23 minutes from the end of today's stream. 23 minutes left in today's stream. So get your questions in. Intern Jackson, SCP is not real. It is a creative writing community and fandom. I am an actor. We do not pretend SCP is real after the Slender Man stabbing incident in 2015 because those girls thought Slender Man was real and told them to stab their friend. So on the off chance they're not just psychotic and they actually thought that, we drop kayfabe if anyone asks if SCP is real. It's not real. It's fake. It's fun. Enjoy yourselves. But it's not real. Leuna, thank you for donating again to say, what would happen if the Church of the Broken God found a way to the digital world from Digimon, or gain access to the Power Rangers morphing grid? So, if they found a way to the digital world, I would be less worried because inside the digital world, it seems like it's very much just another world. So they wouldn't have special access to any sort of technology that way. But the morphing grid, that could grant them some crazy powers. So I would appreciate it if they were not informed that exists. It's called kayfabe, right? SCP-049, it's called kayfabe. Kayfabe, K-A-Y-F-A-B-E. Kayfabe is the term for essentially staying in character while performing. Wrestling is famous for wrestlers maintaining kayfabe, staying in character well beyond anything of other film acting types. I mean, if you're on camera for a film, you're in character while the camera's rolling, and then you're off. But wrestling, they are in character in their promos, in their BTS footage, walking down the set, doing their match, walking out. They are super in kayfabe, super in character. Felix, thank you for donating again. When the cameras are back on and passed out on the floor, on the walls, a message written in black substance, bring forth a new era mortal. I warned you. I warned you not to interact with that thing, but no, you didn't listen to me. You wanted unstable knowledge. You wanted the forbidden knowledge. Now, I'll send medical to clean you up. Sheesh. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some milk and cookies on your way past the commissary. Let you gift SCP-049 the means to cure the pestilence. Do you have that? Do you have that to give to SCP-049? I can't even find evidence that there is a pestilence, and you have a cure? Please, present it to the class. Dr. Sherman, I have given SCP-1507 a pool. Yes, they like it, and I have somehow become allied with the flock of the SCP-1507 instances, and yes, I did talk to the project lead. Intern Oates, that's actually pretty impressive. The 1507s are usually fairly hostile to Foundation staff, so if you found an inroad, perhaps to negotiate with them for a truce of some sort, I would be very interested in this project proposal. Vertical Koala, I am sorry to say that I do not review prospective SCPs. It's a simple policy I have to keep track of here on Site 42 because we have over 1 million followers. And if I accepted to critique and go over non-canon works because they're in progress, I wouldn't have time to do much else. So please find some SCP friends and authors to critique that on your behalf. Once it is posted to the database and it survives the community vote, then I'm wholly willing to look at it because it will then be a canon entry in the SCP database. But for now, Site 42 only looks at canon SCP database entries for that reason. How do you kill SCP-096? Well, intern random, it depends on the universe. In one universe, we utilized the acid bath from SCP-682 to melt off most of 096's flesh, at which point we alternated shooting the bones and musculature that was left with machine guns held by blindfolded Mobile Task Force members, as well as allowed SCP-173 to simply continually snap the bones until there was nothing left. A non-canon event of this is that we've deduced here at Site 42 that it's possible the entity known as Medusa may be able to, through magical means, put SCP-096 into a stone state. On top of which, SCP-049 theoretically ceases the biological functions of whatever it touches, so it could probably easily kill SCP-096. Felix, thank you for donating again to say, ugh, my head, what's going on? Why are there so many eyes everywhere? Ooh, why are there schematics I don't remember memorizing? What happened? I do believe that you should accept a dose of amnestics from the medical staff. There is a forbidden knowledge event that we are fairly sure you participated in and need to be cured of that knowledge before something dire comes forth from it. How is this guy getting all this stuff right? Like, literally everything he's saying is actually true because I know everything about SCPs, and I know for a fact that he's right. Well, intern Neff, I have been documenting on the works of the SCP database for over 10 years, so I sort of know my way around the block is all. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again to say. The cure involves releasing SCP-008 into the population. We're not starting a zombie apocalypse. No. I scrolled upon an SCP-049 versus SCP-096 TikTok, and someone put a GIF of SCP Wish I Knew in the comments. Intern Hansen, you know those brain rots are going to be out there. You've got to inoculate yourself. Up your cognitive resistance value so you can survive the brain rot without having a negative reaction. You can't let these things have an effect on you. Otherwise, you're just being blown about by the breezes of brain rot, and what a terrible life to be living. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again to say, why not, Doctor? The pestilence must be cured. Why do you think starting a zombie apocalypse would cure the pestilence? Let's start there. Let's start there. What would happen if we put SCP-682 into SCP-3930? Well, Intern Javier, here's the deal. We have, in other ways, been able to erase SCP-682 from consensus reality, and SCP-682 popped back into existence, just boop, and appeared. So, that tells me that making SCP not real by putting it in SCP-3930 would not be a successful method for the same purpose. Well, one theory about the pestilence is that it's free will. Zombies don't have free will. Yeah, but that's a bad hypothesis. Why would some humans be affected and others not? It's humanity as a whole either has free will or doesn't. Why would it be certain people? Think. Come on now. It's not that. Intern Trav, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. I'm sad because I spent the past month making an SCP and I learned that you had to pay. Intern Fash Plush Playhouse, what are you talking about, have to pay? If you're talking about having to pay to post an SCP, that's not true. And so now I'm wondering where you got such information. But anybody is free to become a member of the SCP Wiki and then free to write SCPs. There is no payment structure for that. Please tell me where you got this information so I can correct whoever's spreading false information about the SCP community. Felix, thank you for donating again. When a doctor tried to administer amnestics, I tried to comply, but an unseen force attacked the researcher. Stay out of the workshop, stay out. Don't worry, we have strategies for this. Tranquilizer darts loaded with amnestics will be fired from a distance, and you will not see them coming. Desk, you're keeping an eye out for a message from Faz Plush Funhouse for the intel regarding someone saying you had to pay to write an SCP or something. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again to say, I rang a bell yesterday. Something is watching me. I can't prove it. Nobody believes me. It's here staring at me. I can't sleep. Must not. Won't. Well, that's strange. I don't know why you would ring a random cowbell you found, but there's no cure, so just put the cowbell back where you found it, and then we'll see what happens next. Like 5 TikTokers and Google. Well, Thaz Plush, if you can tell us what you Google searched, and if you happen to like the videos from those TikTokers, you can inform us who's saying that. I would love to correct the record. In the SCP-5000-Y timeline, why did SCP-682 agree to work with the Foundation? And what does that reveal about the true source of its hatred for humanity? Well, it wanted to destroy humanity, and the SCP Foundation teamed up with it to destroy humanity. So yes, at that point, it's well aligned with what 682 wants. Amber, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some of those chocolate gold coins on your way past the commissary. We'll be on the road for 6 hours tomorrow, going to see family. Office hours attendance will be spotty this week. Well, that is to be expected on a holiday week. The streams will continue, the streak stays strong, but they will be shorter, so it will be harder to get everybody in and make sure everyone gets their questions answered. So, do make sure to make sure your subscription bell here on YouTube is set, and if you're a member of the Site42 Discord server, make sure you've got the YouTube live alert roll so that you are getting pinged when we go live, so at least you know when it is and you're not surprisingly missed it. If you gotta miss it due to a family event, that's fine, but if you are available and miss it, well, that just sucks. So make sure you're properly notificationed. Felix, thank you for donating again to say, something is in here. It's non-corporeal. I think only I can see it. It's making sure I don't forget. Dr. Sherman, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. Well, we have ways of containing non-corporeal entities, although they are a little trickier than most. But as long as you stay put and it's not leaving you, then we have time to make the containment. So give us time to work and we will solve this problem. Slendyman, thank you for your 5 months as a level 1 researcher here at Site42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Woo, 5 months and no cat-made dimension trouble. Yeah, if you stay out of the cat-made dimension, then you don't have cat-made dimension trouble. I wish all of security would figure that out. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again to say, here, fun idea, New York City 096 electronic signs. Well, as long as 096 is turned into stone by Medusa, then that's fine to do. Although, I don't know why we would spend the marketing budget on such a thing. What made you want to do SCP and not other fandoms? Well, intern Dozier, for me, first of all, I'm a horror fan. I've been watching horror films forever. I've always had an attraction to the genre. I was a scare actor at Halloween events for many years. And Creepypasta Online was just an interest of mine that I got into. I started making SCP readings only so I could use them as demo for voice acting jobs. And I got jobs off them, so that's nice. And then the YouTube channel picked up and I just kind of rolled with that. It's been a little project I've been farming for about 10 years now, and it's just gotten bigger and bigger by year, so I just keep doing it. Well, please tell me when we're getting an SCP William Afton. Well, intern FNAF, the SCP Foundation is not in the business of taking SCP entities that are just copies of things that exist already. William Afton is not an SCP because it exists in a different fandom under different copyright rules. Now, when there is someone might take something like Slenderman and rework it a little bit into their own entity, like SCP-582, codename Bundle of Stories, or Bundle for short. But that is not Slenderman itself. That is an offshoot variant, changed up Slenderman. So that is the closest we'll ever get to a William Afton SCP, because we can't take someone else's copywritten character. You feel me? Oh, Site 42 staff, we have 5 minutes left in stream. 5 minutes. Get those questions in. Could we put SCP-682 into 3001 to contain? First of all, it is an it, not a him. 682 is an it. It is an object, not a person, just like every anomaly. It's an it. Thank you. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols during your time at the Foundation. Secondly, we would have to be able to get back to 3001 in the first place. We only know about 3001 because researcher Scranton was teleported there and back. We don't know how the hell he got there. So, and definitely didn't come back in good shape. Yikes. So, that's not really a strategy we can replicate right now. Experiment's gone wrong. Thank you for donating again, and this time making an extremely generous donation to the Site 42 cause. We appreciate your direct donation helping us to grow the channel further and faster. The team all says thank you as well, and you know what? Make sure on your way past the commissary, I have got a Irish coffee recipe that includes 3 kinds of anomalous liquor that I want you to give a taste test of. Consider that your extra gift for your extra generosity. And thank you very much. And you just said hi, so again, not even without a message, thank you for your generosity there. Justin Jr., I appreciate you appreciating our streams very much. Do you have any ideas on what to get Dr. Buck? Intern Buck, I do not know who Dr. Buck is. I'm not familiar with this researcher. I've never crossed upon their research before. So you'd have to tell me who they are. If SCP-096 was to trigger SCP-1471-A, what would happen? Well, SCP-096 could not harm a Mallow entity because the Mallows are incorporeal, intangible, untouchable. Meaning it would have the same effect as SCP-682, which is that when 096 attacked SCP-682 and was unable to kill it, eventually 682 had a mental breakdown and stopped attacking. And so it just had to live with the idea that 682 knew what it looked like. And so that would be the same thing with Mallow. Because it can't reach Mallow, it would just freak out, cry, and then give up. Dr. Sherman, please let me out for Christmas. I promise I won't kill anyone. Abel? I wish I could trust you on that, but do you remember what happened at the staff first night of Hanukkah party? When you said the same thing? Still cleaning the blood off the walls. Denied. Oh, Site 42 staff, we are currently at the end of stream. And as always, at the end of stream, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. It's a bit of a tradition around these parts. And, of course, I'm not going to tell you that the SCPs I personally wrote are my favorites. That would be cheating and sheer narcissism, which is not the game I'm playing. But, if you did want to read the SCPs I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherman Site 42 Hub and author page on the SCP database. There you can see the SCPs I have personally written, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects to. And one tab from the SCPs I wrote, you can go over and you can see some links. Some links people are often very curious to find, but they just don't look hard enough. It's so tragic. But you guys know how to find those links. You're not gonna weakly, undeterminedly chicken out. You're gonna find those links. And while you are there, you can become a Patreon patron or YouTube channel member of Site 42 to support the channel monthly, or you could do Ko-Fi donations or YouTube super chats to donate one at a time. Either way, we thank you for direct donations. They are the quickest way to help out the Site 42 team, keeping the lights on. And, hey, if you're part of the broke gang, trust me, we're an arts community. We understand starving artists all too well. You are still a valued and honored member of Site 42's Mobile Task Force Sci 42, codenamed Signal Boosters. Because when you do that like, share, and subscribe, and commenting dance on our streams and videos, as well as on the videos or projects of other SCP creators that we shout out, you are helping us to boost either the monetary situation or the engagement situation of SCP products and projects. And that means we get more SCP products and projects. And that is how we bake the SCP fandom as big as Marvel one day, getting AAA games and movies in theaters, all sorts of stuff like that. And so we thank you, Mobile Task Force Sci 42, for helping us to build a bigger antenna to signal boost the SCP authors, artists, animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, etc. Thank you, Mobile Task Force Sci 42. Also, thank you one more time to today's sponsor, Escape from Site 19, the SCP board game. Go to GameFound link in our description. The GameFound campaign is not open, but if you follow it right now before it opens, you will receive a free mystery gift. And so follow the GameFound campaign. They are reopening the case of Escape from Site 19. More English copies of the game. They're translating it to Poland, and we're getting Polish SCP objects in the English language, so us English language enjoyers can enjoy it as well. Thank you to Escape from Site 19 for supporting Site 42 and for making a damn fine SCP board game. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCP games, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, it's a bit of a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, content warning, the last one's rough read. Site 42 staff, this is Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site 42. This has been another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. Hold on one second. Intern Annihilation, you're talking about something very serious, it seems. I have a business email. If this is actually important, email the business email and we'll see what's up. But do not spam my business email. It is not for role-playing purposes. My business email is located in the support link, which is pinned in the chat, as well as the description. Now, where was I? This has been another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. Well, it's Christmas time again. Decorations hung by the fire. Everybody's singing. All the bells are ringing out, and it's Christmas all over again. Yeah, again. Long distance relatives, haven't seen them in a long, long time, yeah. I kinda missed them, I just don't wanna kiss them, no. And it's Christmas all over again. Yeah, again. The credit song is Christmas All Over Again by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Be safe, be well, and secure. Contain, protect.